Thanks to the support as a channel member, All Stars United SC. First best, then camper, new hero Alex Roberts then got injured. It would be really helpful if our best attacking players could just, stay fit. And welcome to part 59 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we enter the FA Cup for the new season away against the team that are top of our league, Dartford. And then we also play Weymouth away from home in the league. Since you were last with me, our form has been okay. Home form certainly has been fine. In fact, we've won every game at our new stadium, which is nice. Away form, less so. We've lost all but one game, and that was only a draw. So we're quite good at home, quite bad away from home, it seems, and that's enough to have us in 6th place in the league, which, to be honest, will be absolutely fine. If we keep this form up all year, I'll be very happy. You can see by the mix of goal scorers, we've had to mix things up around a lot at the front, although Craig Laycock has benefited more than anybody from everyone else getting injured, has got himself back into the team and started scoring the way only Craig Laycock can. So he's having a lovely old time as well. But injury-wise, we had Best injured in the first episode. Camper then picked up an injury and has been injured since, and he's only just coming back to fitness now. And then in the next game, Alex Roberts got out for 2 months with a hamstring strain. I think they both had the same injury, actually. I think they both did their hamstrings. So we've been playing Laycock up front with Hannah Duggan. And Hannah Duggan is not a striker or a winger or anything at all, really. So I don't know that he's the answer to any of our problems, but Laycock is certainly doing his thing, and Camper should be fit enough to get back in the team today, which is a big bonus for this FA Cup game. The other thing I've been fiddling with is the tactics, because although we built the new snazzy system that we showed in the last episode around trying to get the best out of Tom Best, it absolutely didn't. As you can see, it's been the worst start to the season he's ever had. I mean, context, he's still getting a goal contribution every other match. He usually gets one every match, and his average rating has suffered massively. So you can see on here, we tried that system for 4 matches and have since given up with it and gone back to the 4-4-2 that worked so well last year, which in turn has coincided with Laycock starting to hammer in the goals again. So I think we're probably back with a 4-4-2, and we're just relying on Best to be an assist machine rather than a goal threat. We don't need him as the goal threat anymore. Back when Best was getting 20, 25 goals a season, he was the goal. He was the attack. We've now got Camper and Laycock, and we've got Roberts around the place as well. We don't need goals from midfield. We need assists for our free scoring strikers. So I think that's the plan, and this is the team for Dartford away. We also have a new goalkeeper, because Sharman Lowe, not really getting the job done. So we've got this guy in on loan for the season from Ipswich. I mean, he's not much better, to be honest, but a change is as good as a rest, etc., etc. And the one other thing we've done to differentiate ourselves from previous seasons is we are finally using a fullback just on this side. So Best can still roam forward, and we've got a little bit of stability behind him. I do still want Machiavelli overlapping past Fairley, though, so we're leaving him as a wing-back on the other side. So it's Sebastião in goal, a back four of Machiavelli, Larson, Young and Odoi. We've got Fairley, Marrow and Davidson in midfield with Best on the right-hand side, and then Camper returning for his first game in ages. And he's going to be partnering Laycock up front. We do also need to give some league game time to Sam Brown, because he's moaning that he's not getting enough game time. We promised we're going to give him more starts. We don't need to worry about it today, because I don't think the FA Cup counts towards that stuff. So we're going to leave Odoi in today. But I'm really saying this is a mental note to myself. Must remember to play Brown in the next match. Right, let's get the game up and running. Look at the amount of fans that Dartford managed to drag into their place. Do you get a free ticket for the match when you go through the tunnel? This is madness. We can't compete. We've got 46 season ticket holders, and Dartford are getting over 1,000 fans turn up. They're only 5 places above us in the league. And because of that, I mean, I won't say it's a great opportunity for us to get another cup run up and running, but it's been a few years since the big cup run that set us up financially for a little while. I say set us up, saved us from the brink for a little while. So it would be really handy if we could have another one this year. And Sebastião has just done very, very well to make that save. Having said he's not much of an improvement in goal, he's made a very good save there. So we would very much like a win today. I know we shouldn't really be expecting a victory in an away game against a team who are above us in the league, especially when you've just seen how bad our away form has been. But if there was ever a day for us to turn the away form around, I would go all season not winning away in the league if we could win, maybe not just today. If we could get to the second round of the FA Cup, I would sacrifice away wins all year. I think that's a deal I'm willing to make. And of course, Football Manager gods, that starts today. That's really good work from Camper. You don't get that when you're playing the other options up front that we've had. No one else tracks back and gets involved the way Camper does. He offers so very much to the team, and it all counts for nothing because Dartford scored anyway, 5 minutes in. And I mean, it's their second very good chance that they've had. So I suspect our horrible away form is going to continue, which, if I understand deals with the FM gods the way I think I understand deals with the FM gods, if we do get knocked out here, that means we're going unbeaten away from home for the rest of the season in the league. I think that's fair. Otherwise, what am I getting out of this deal? I must be getting something somewhere, surely. Right, let's demand more. We've not. I mean, I know we're less than 10 minutes in, but goodness me, have we not looked with it at all so far? And they're in behind again, and they very nearly scored again. Sebastião keeping himself big, but we've not had a shot yet. 25% possession, no shots. This has not been the start to the game I'd hoped for. We do have a free kick here, though, through Marrow. He can stick this in the top corner, all is forgiven. And it's a very good save from the Dartford keeper, but does give us a corner, and we have a number of set-piece threats from these situations. We know all about Leo Young. We know all about Camper. It's a far post corner. The aliens have turned up, and the Dartford keeper just plucks it relatively comfortably out of the sky, and it remains 1-0 to Dartford. The aliens are now back at the other end of the pitch as well. They're really trying to get involved today, and it's a Dartford free kick now that goes over. We seem to be getting a lot of weird highlights. We are only on key highlights. Just checking we hadn't skipped to extended somehow, because some of these highlights, I would argue they're not very key. Seeing a man just balloon a free kick over the crossbar, especially when there's already been so many highlights in this first half. We've all had those games of Football Manager where you go an entire half with no highlights. For some of these to be considered key in a world like that, I'm a little confused. Best trying to create something just rolls it into the arms of their goalkeeper, basically. That's exactly what I mean. What's this? This is no highlight. Unless Dartford are going to score from it, I don't really understand why we're seeing it happen as part of a key highlight. But they're on the attack again. And I don't know, do we push the wingers forward? We've kind of established it doesn't really work. But this isn't really working today either. We're 2-0 down. And I guess we do need to try something different. Maybe it's time for the Snazzy system. I don't want to see the replay. We're going Snazzy. We've actually got Snazzy trained, so he can jump straight to Snazzy and just try and get Best more involved. That's the plan. Get Best on the ball, boy. I know it's not really worked. I keep trying it. It's not really worked, but he is theoretically still our best player until someone else inherits his name, I think is how it works. For as long as he's Tom Best, we assume he is the best. If his name gets changed to Tom Has Been, then we'll know that someone else has surpassed him. But for now, if we can get him performing to his best, that's good for us. I'm going to try. I don't want to berate them. We're away from home against the team at the top of the league. Berating seems very harsh because we're not supposed to win today. Rather than berating, I'm just going to demand more. I don't want to shout at you, but I do have to insist that you win this football match. Odoi plays it back to Young, and now Davidson to Marrow. And that's good work from Marrow, finding Fairley. Fairley goes past his man. For someone who's brought in just to make up the numbers, he's actually looking like a half-decent player. We've done this a few times now. Emergency, random, last resort left wingers. I mean, we did it with Giles. We did it with What's-His-Face last year. And I don't know if we've done it for a third year in a row. They only seem to be one-season wonders, so it's maybe for the best that that we didn't sign Thingamy-Bob permanently. Rennie, I can't remember what his surname was. Rennie something. Out of sight, out of mind. That's how it works. He's dead to me now. Cross comes in and it's over, but I mean, so's this tie, effectively. We're not really showing any kind of attacking ambition. We are gonna go attacking. We probably should take take Camper off because he's not fully fit. So Hannah Duggan's gonna come on. I think we're gonna take off Best as well, bring on Scowen. on that right-hand side because we've got to protect Tom Best. We've already lost here, effectively. Marrow can come off as well, and we'll bring on Vincent for him. Scowen can come into midfield. We'll just swap everyone around like that. I think that works. What we'll maybe do is just try and get him a little bit more involved as a box-to-box midfielder rather than a ball-winning midfielder. But this is effectively already over. We're not showing any kind of oomph. Leo Young trying to do a long throw didn't really work out, did it? Especially because he's the guy you'd want on the other end of it. But the move continues. Odoi to Vincent. This is your first look at Vincent, the new right-hand side player who's here to be back up to Best. And it has forced a corner. Hannah Duggan with a decent effort. And now it's Vincent to take the corner. If we could grab a goal back here, we might be able to dream. We didn't, so we can't. Dreaming is over. Away form seems to be problematic. I mean, actually, in terms of performance, it's not been disastrous. We've not really had very much of the ball at all. But I feel a little bit hard done by looking at those match stats to be 2-0 down, especially with the goal-scoring form that Laycock's been in. He's not really shown any of that in this match, although we've lumped the ball aimlessly towards him here, hoping he can. In fact, it's not even Laycock. That's Fairley. Why is Laycock not forward? We should be leaving him. I know he's one of the bigger boys. He's another one who's over 6 foot. So I guess you do bring him back for the set pieces. But, oh, goodness me. Fairley's a centre-back. He should be staying back. Let Laycock stay involved in the attack. Who designs these set pieces? Whose idea was this? Right, it is Dartford attacking again, and they're just carving through us. It's like a couple of years ago when we were playing the controlled possession system. They're knocking the ball around very nicely, where we're just very direct, trying to get the ball out to the wingers and get crosses in. Right, we'll bring on Harry Thomas, who's not really had any kind of opportunity yet because he's got 2 men in front of him. And for my final trick, we're going to take off Fairley, bring on Thomas. We've got 2 fullbacks called Thomas. I just want to give Machiavelli some game time on the left-hand side of midfield. Are these 2 brothers? Wouldn't it be lovely if they were? So he's born in Wales and came through at Cardiff. He is Welsh, also from Wales. Came through at Rotherham. They're probably not brothers, but they are both on the pitch right now. Let's demand more again. Those substitutions killed off any hope we had of scoring from that corner, which is always nice to see. And it's yet another Dartford throw or Dartford highlight. And I don't really know why we're seeing so many of these. Are they just trying to show off that they play nice football? I get it. They play nice football. I kind of miss playing nice football, but we don't have the quality to be able to do this. We've sacrificed quality of football for results. I feel unclean as it is. Don't make me feel even worse by showing me a team that are doing what I want to be doing quite well. Dartford are a much bigger club than us. Of course they're going to be doing well, but they're going to grab a third here, aren't they? The FA Cup is not for us these last few years, it seems. Corner comes in. It is actually cleared-ish. I say cleared. It never even left the penalty area. And that is 3-0, and that is that. And, I mean, that's a bit over the top when you're already 2-0 up in the 90th minute. No need to celebrate like you've just scored a winner in the World Cup final, but that's the FA Cup over for another season. Now we just have the pickle of our away form in the league, and I really want to not look awful in this next match. There's people here watching. We're off to the seaside. Let's all go to Weymouth. Right, just the one change for the Weymouth game, the pre-planned one. Brown comes in at right back for Odoi. If we look at the league table, Weymouth where are Weymouth? Weymouth are down in 13th place. So we're better than them, theoretically. We are rubbish away from home, though. So I'm not holding out a huge amount of hope, but Camper slowly but surely getting back towards full fitness. Today would be a nice day for us to demonstrate that we are capable of winning away from home for the first time this season. Who is AFC Croydon Athletic? I tell you what, starting down in Tier 9 and leaving those leagues loaded for as long as we have, it is making this National League North and South look a little bit weird compared to what I'm used to. There are some teams in here, which means there's some teams that have disappeared out of the playable structure. And as we move up the leagues, we'll start to turn off the leagues lower down so that we can turn on more of the European leagues and keep the game running nice and quick. So that means any teams who are down in like tier 7 or 8 now have a very real risk of never being able to make it back, because the non-playable league promotions, you can only get promoted if you're in the league directly below the playable one. So whoever's in tier 8, when that league gets turned off, stays there. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. If there's any traditional National League North-South teams, they might never make it back up again. I mean, I'm not going to do the research and work out who they might be, but there's definitely some, judging by some of the teams that have made it up to this level. I mean, we saw a few of them when we were down at that level last year. There was a lot of recognisable teams, and now we see why, because there's loads of strange teams. Will Chalfo make it into the National League South before the door slams shut? Goodness me, I hope they do. I want Chalfo. I want to play Chalfo in an FA Cup final one day. That would be the dream. Right, Weymouth are very similar to what we've just seen with Dartford, knocking the ball around us with relative ease. I mean, it is the way we play is kind of unconcerned with possession, so it's not a big deal, but I'd feel a lot more comfortable if we had some highlights where we had the ball, like we have here. Laycock trying to get in behind. Laycock doing really well until the finish, as it says in the little commentary bit at the bottom. I wonder if we're going to keep those little commentary bits in the bottom on FM25. Like that great play until the finish one. That's been in there nearly 30 years. They can't take that out, surely. There'll be uproar. Right, Weymouth on the attack again, and we've given the ball away there. And they've scored from it. This guy doesn't even have a first name. That's frustrating. Away form, eh? I've never really understood it, especially at this level, where we get about 100 people turn up for our home matches. What's the big appeal? I'm berating them. What's so fun about playing at home? Why do we win at home and then play so differently away? Is it because we're intimidated by there actually being fans there in the away games? Is that a thing? Ultimately, finishing mid-table this season is fine. It's just quite frustrating in a video. If it's one like this where we've got 2 away games and I just know we're going to get smashed in them both, even against, I mean, Weymouth, I said, we're better than Weymouth, and they're just battering us. Maybe we need finish that sentence. I was gonna propose a more defensive system for away from home. Then I remembered I would rather slam my testicles in a desk drawer than play defensively. So I'd rather attack and lose than defend and draw. Can we do something though? A shot on target. We've got such good attacking players. It's very frustrating that we don't create anything away from home. Laycock had scored 7 goals in 4 matches leading into this episode, and I've not even noticed him on the pitch in a game and a half. Is he there? Have I forgotten to select him? Goodness me. Somebody, I'm berating you again. You're getting double beration. I don't think I've ever berated twice in a match before. That's how cross I am. Oh. They can hear me berating my players and they're laughing about it. I'm being laughed at by a bunch of seaside dwellers. Oh, 3-0 down at half time. That is poor. I want to throw a water bottle. I'm not going to. I'm too civilized for that. Violence never solves anything, but this is rubbish. I mean, we'll try this just because it's different. So we might as well. But I can't see that it's going to be any more effective than what we've been doing. Please, let's try demanding more. Who have we got on the bench? We need Roberts back. We've got Hannah Duggan, who's never scored a goal. Scowen has been quite good, but mainly when he's been in the Tom Best position. He can come on in midfield and offer a little bit more of an attacking option than Marrow or Davidson. So maybe him, Moores, has kind of been cut out of things as the season has gone on. Laycock has been shocking. He's coming off. And Camper can go to be an attacking target man. And Hannah Duggan can be a pressing forward on support. Best's going to come off as well because he's having a terrible game, which means we may as well bring him back there. And then we're going to bring on Moores as well for Marrow. And yeah, we'll do this. There you go. Somebody do something. Please and thank you. Is Scowen playing out of position now? I think he might be. I think there's a reason I always have to push Scowen forward. Yeah, he is completely out of position, so he's going to have to go there like that. And you can do that. There we go. Right. I'm sure I remember suggesting we do something. So if we could do something, that would be super. At least someone show a sign of life. Camper may be showing that he can make the step up because he hasn't done that yet. We've given him big money contract, big money, like £100 a week. But you know what? I'd take it from having a game of football. People pay a fiver subs to go and play football. He's getting paid £120 a week for it. Now it'd just be nice if he could score a goal as well. If he's got injured again, just gonna go to bed. Their player's been sent off. As Camper, I mean, I probably shouldn't have left Camper on for the full match, but Laycock had been so poor. Right, we have got a goal back. We don't because he's offside. Well, why are we seeing so many highlights? I just want the episode to end. Shall we just end it here? Do you need to see how this turns out? You know it doesn't end well. We've created nothing. At least in the Dartford game, we looked like we were trying. In this one, we've just been so poor. But then we'll play at home in the next match and win 2-0. And it'll genuinely, we'll look like a completely different team. Let me know in the comments what on earth you do about that. It probably is different tactics for home and away, isn't it? But in my 25 plus years of playing Football Manager, I've never had to resort to that. It feels filthy. I'm not going to do it. I will bend the game to my will and not the other way around, he says, playing with a normal goalkeeper rather than a sweeper keeper and a direct system and a fullback rather than a wingback. The amount of times I've made a statement like that and gone back on it. Maybe I need to go back to my principles. Sweeper keepers, wingbacks, attack, attack, attack. Get some possession. Can we gegenpress yet? Probably not with a part-time team. It probably won't end well fitness-wise, especially when we're already in an injury crisis. But that is hideous. Absolutely hideous. Goodness me. Do we need to figure out a solution to that problem? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. I can't even say it. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.